Mr. Müller, health is becoming more and more important in today's society. You can see it in people's diets, the way people pay more attention to what they eat, where it comes from. It's the same with movement. You can see that people are exercising more and more and doing more for their bodies. They're going walking and hiking. Young people are also discovering it for themselves. There is also an extreme trend growing with regard to walking barefoot. The people who promote it say walking barefoot is the best and the healthiest. We aren't wearing shoes when we're born. I still remember things myself. I can see photos in my mind's eye when I wasn't wearing any shoes. What do you think? Is walking barefoot really the healthiest thing you can do? Do you support this theory? Or are you of a completely different opinion?
I'm a massive fan of walking barefoot. I myself am still very self-sufficient and I follow a healthy diet. I try to move around as healthily as possible. I walk barefoot wherever I can. Only in nature though. I would dream of walking barefoot on the hard ground. Sometimes it's also too cold in winter. I don't think that cold from the ground is healthy. But more than anything, it's the impact on the joints from the hard concrete floors, cement floors or parquet floors that really isn't healthy in my view.
Can you explain why it's unhealthy to walk on hard surfaces?
Hard surfaces are completely unnatural. Why should I walk on unnatural surfaces when I can put something between my foot and the hard, unnatural flat surface that encourages my foot to move in the same way as if I were barefoot in nature?
If I've understood you correctly, the aim of your kybun products is to create a natural surface between the feet and the ground.
Exactly. I lived among rice paddies in South Korea for 20 years, in a mud hut. I have serious knee problems, achilliodynia and back problems, from playing football and doing sport. I used to walk on these rice paddles in the autumn when we harvested the rice. The water is allowed to drain away and the surface is muddy. It has to be muddy for the rice in the water, and so that the water doesn't drain away. But if you let the water drain away, then it's elastic and springy. There's no more pleasant feeling than walking on this elastic, springy mud surface in the rice paddies. It's not just pleasant, but the pain in my Achilles tendon, my knee and my back would actually go within just a few minutes. There's now also a study, a complex study, by the University of Calgary, by the Human Research Laboratory, run by Professor Benno Nigg, that says what feels good for the foot is good for the body. That's why my aim is to develop products that make your feet feel as good as possible. The elastic, springy sole of the kybun shoe acts like a shock absorber. It's not just a shock absorber, it also bounces back again, and it comes between the unnatural, hard, flat surface and the natural foot. That creates the most comfortable feeling possible. Our customers who try it all agree that there's no movement more comfortable for the foot than walking on elastic, springy material, which also acts as a cushion between the unnatural surface and the natural foot.
So you're saying that walking barefoot would be good in itself, but it's not good for the musculoskeletal system if you do it on hard surfaces. But there are also barefoot shoes, which give you the feeling of walking barefoot, but you still have something on your feet. A wisp of nothing. Are barefoot shoes also a good tool for walking on today's streets?
I don't judge others in general. I can only say what feels comfortable for the foot is good for the body. Especially anything bouncy. Everyone loves jumping on a trampoline. If you love jumping on a trampoline, then that helps as well. Of course, we use the trampoline material for standing on, or the trampoline sole for your feet. You can't help but love it. And that also provides encouragement. That's why I think anyone can give barefoot shoes a go. You can compare them as well, of course. I don't have a problem with people comparing a barefoot shoe with the kybun shoe. Also trying them out for the longer term. We also let people rent a shoe for 2 weeks for 30 Swiss francs. Then you can judge for yourself how good it is and how much benefit it brings. I think it's a shame when people judge something and badmouth something they haven't a clue about, or something they sort of have a notion of. I don't like casting aspersions on others. I want to give everyone the chance to make their own mind up by trying it out. Maybe also by trying it out for longer, so that they can feel how much good it does for the body.
You said before that walking on hard surfaces is unnatural. Does that mean people living in societies where it's still common to walk barefoot on natural surfaces are doing everything right?
Yes, when you walk barefoot on natural surfaces, you can't go wrong. I've already studied these people. In fact, we didn't just study them, we also sent wells to Africa, Kenya. We've built up a relationship with them. I know exactly how they walk. They also don't have any knee and hip complaints. They are bolt upright into old age until they die. They don't experience the problems that we have. I'm convinced that the problem isn't the shoes we wear, but the hard, flat surfaces above all. They're simply not suitable for our bodies.
If you're saying these communities don't experience the complaints that we do in Europe, we have them and they don't, then it's obvious. Where's the problem in European society or medicine? If you're familiar with both sides and have the solution.
Well, of course, it's not just the flat surface that's different. They also have a different lifestyle. They go hunting, they're nomads, who sit a lot less. Sitting also naturally has a huge influence, as it causes the fascia to agglutinate, which means they contract, repeatedly damaging your gait over time. Basically, there are two key factors. The flat, hard surfaces, which have a destructive impact, and sitting too much in everyday life.
That's great. Thank you, Mr. Müller.
Thank you.